Welcome back to West Ham Official. This is another edition of the West Ham News Show. I know that is very original. I know that is a very original name. But anyway, this is. I'll tell you what. I wasn't going to do a video this morning and just leave the team of the season for later on. But so much news is breaking here, there, and everywhere. So I've got to come on and give you the latest information in as much detail as I can. But there's a lot of stories that I'm going to go through here. I think it's like 3 or 4, so we're going to get straight on in with it. The first one is Marco Arnautovic has been linked back to West Ham. As we all know, David Moyes doesn't have extraordinary funds. Well, this is what people are saying. Moyes doesn't have lavish funds to spend in the summer. However, one of the striker signings could be a loan or a free transfer. This is not the way to look at things, West Ham, but I suppose this is what we're going to have to deal with. The 32-year-old Austrian striker left West Ham in 2019 and joined Shanghai for a bit of money on £200,000 a week. He's definitely not liked around West Ham, that's for sure. Some fans would like him back, some fans wouldn't. But according to TalkSport transfer guru Alex Crook, he reckons that David Moyes will be up and wants him back. Whether the fans do, I'm pretty sure I know the fans' view on it, but it's whether what Sullivan is going to do upstairs. We just have to wait and see. They're saying a few murmurings that Marco Arnautovic would fancy a return to the London Stadium, though. I think David Moyes would probably welcome that from what I'm told. I'm not convinced the fans and the owners would. Yeah, I agree with that last bit. I think West Ham's got to make a marquee summer signing, and I could definitely see this happening. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Someone like this, coming towards their end of the career, a proper West Ham signing, coming in on loan or on a free transfer. So now David Moyes has got a bit of a conundrum on his hands here. He's got to weigh out the pros and the cons, whether he thinks the pros outdo the cons. Should he sign this man? I think the fans will make their view very, very clear that it is Snake 2.0 and that they don't want him back at the London Stadium, that he will probably upset the backroom staff, the players, and the whole buzz around the team spirit. But I'll back David Moyes and what he does because he seems to be getting every single thing right. So I'm going to back what he does. So that is that story. Marco Arnautovic, to recap, David Moyes wants him back at West Ham United, and probably the fans and the owners don't. But we'll move on to a story that kind of not upset me last night, but I thought, oh, that's a shame. Irvine is going to leave in the summer, I do believe. I think he's still going to stay at West Ham, but in a slightly, I think he's the assistant manager now, and kind of a moved back role, not so full on, which I understand. I'm going to be honest with you, because I can imagine that it's a very stressful job being an assistant manager at the age he is. So I understand that. But he's been at West Ham once before. In 2017, Irvine was named as assistant manager to David Moyes in his first spell at West Ham, as they've worked together previously. He left West Ham in the end of the 2017-18 season, and then of course on December in December 2019 he came back with Moyes as we got him back. Yeah, it's gonna be a big loss if he goes, and I think X has said someone else is coming. I forgot his name. But yeah, it's going to be quite a big loss, I think, and I don't quite know what part he has to do with it, but I'm sure all of these backroom staff, I'm sure all of these assistants, and the Kevin Nolans, the Alan Irvines, the Paul Nevins, they've all got that little bit that helped us get into Europa League football. So it's a shame to see him go. Maybe he's thought, I'm going to step back now. We've got him into Europa League. I'm just going to step back now, which is completely understandable, I think. So that is going to be a shame, but that's life for you. So we will move on to our penultimate story that I've got for you today, and that's Soufal is looking, or well, he's not looking. West Ham are looking to sign him up on a new contract. So West Ham have opened talks with representatives of Vladimir Soufal regarding a new contract, according to reports from Sky Sports. In 34 games. In 34 Premier League games this season, Vladimir Soufal has racked up 7 assists. During those outings, he's averaged 2.1 tackles, 1.2 interceptions, and 2.6 clearances. He is a machine. Now we must sign this man up. Sky Sports claim that the Hammers are ready to reward Soufal for his fine form with a new deal. So Vladimir Sufal is his deal is set to expire in 2 years' time. He currently earns around £30,000 a week. Because of his fine form, Sufal can expect a big rise in those numbers. I saw that and went, that surprises me, but it doesn't surprise me because I can imagine Sufal doesn't want all of this money. He's a very old-fashioned, old-school player, and I looked at that, and the first thing that came to my mind is Andrei Yarmolenko is sitting on the bench on 120 grand a week, and Vladimir Sufal is sat there or running around on the pitch every single week, putting his heart and soul onto it for £30,000. That doesn't add up, and we've got to get we've got to get Sufal's wages up there, because I mean I'm sure he doesn't mind at £30,000 a week, but what's that show that we're having let's say a rubbish bad backup striker sat on the bench on 120k a week, and then we've got probably our most crucial player sat there on 30k a week. I just don't understand. Yarmolenko's got to go. His wages are just silly, and get Sufal up near those wages because he deserves it, and some, that's for sure. But talking of Czech Republic internationals, let's move on to our final story and a transfer rumor. So it's Krau. He is a Czech Republic international. I believe he's currently at Spartak Moscow, and West Ham are reportedly keen, as I said, of Spartak Moscow's midfielder Alex Krau, and have already been in contact with the Russian club. West Ham are in a good position to sign the 23-year-old, according to Sky Sports, after qualifying for the Europa League next season. Krau would be joining fellow Czech mates Thomas Souček and Vladimir Sufal, and would be a great addition to an already strong squad. So let's break this down then. So he's a midfielder. We need a midfielder. He's a Czech. Look what happened last time we bring in 2 Czechs. And I think what's coming around, Sufal and Souček are putting in a nice word in his ear about West Ham. It's good over a Europa League next season. Everything's going well, and we are on the up. So yeah, if David Moyes buys him, I know he's probably looked into him for hours and hours on end, tactically wise, and I'm sure Souček and Sufal have had a word with David Moyes and said, "Oh, this laddie, he's all right. He's not too bad." But yeah, it looks exciting. Whoever Souček and Sufal say, this lad's good, I don't care. They should come to West Ham, and they should be really, really good, because I mean, if they're anything like Souček and Sufal, going to be all right. We're going to be all right. But to recap then, so what I've gone through in this West Ham news show, very, very original title, news for the show. So Marco Arnautovic's transfer rumour, where Moyes will be opening arms to bring Marco Arnautovic back to West Ham, according to Alex Crook. Alan Irvine will step back from his assistant manager role and will go back into a slightly less so, slightly less as full-on job, let's say. I think he's going into something like a consultant or something. Sufal has been linked with a new contract to West Ham United, and bump his wages up as well, because Andrei Yarmolenko shouldn't be on that wage, and Sufal shouldn't be on the wage that he's on. And finally, another checkmate, Krau transfer rumour over from Spartak Moscow, a central midfielder that we've been heavily linked with. But there we go. That is the West Ham news show. I wasn't going to do a show today because I was just going to leave the team in the season. But all of this news, it just keeps on coming. So smack a like on the video, subscribe if you're new around here for more West Ham news shows, for team of the seasons, for transfer shows, for all of that stuff, for Euro shows in the summer. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, so you are notified whenever I upload or go live. And from me, come on your irons, and goodbye.